But Anthony hits the second, and he gives Molloy a 62-54 lead. Hunt looking to change that. Cockburn all over Moses Brown, put him on a poster. And that'll get the Royals fans fired up. Here's more the other way. Underneath, Brown! And he's got an answer back. Walker with a head of steam. The lob to Richards. And one. Nick Richards has come to play. He's got 6, a chance for another one. Seeing Davis, he calls out the Trey Brown to set the screen. Anthony, a 3, cash. Nothing but net for Cole Anthony. He's feeling it. A 3-point lead for the Standard. Semi-final number 2 coming up, and boy, it's a good one. Archbishop Molloy and Archbishop Stepniac at St. John's University. And a pleasant good evening, everybody. Alongside Kevin Devaney Jr., I'm John Perez. Well, we already know who's in Game 1. Cardinal Hayes with a thrilling victory against Bishop Laughlin just a couple of moments ago, and they get to face the winner of this game. Archbishop Molloy running roughshod over the entire Catholic League this year, but they did lose a home game, and they lost to Archbishop Stepniac, a team that is not afraid of anybody.
The team I never saw coming winning the game, I never thought they'd ever win, was Stepniac going on the road to reach Archbishop Molloy. That gives a lot of people thinking that they could both do it again. Can you go and beat Molloy on this stage, in the spotlight? I don't think there's any pressure on Stepniac to go out there and do it again.
And it's virtually a home game for Molloy. You could literally walk to the campus from St. John's. But with that said, everyone likes to talk about the guards, Kevin, but let's look up front. You've got 2 good ones in Moses Brown and Alan Griffin.
Moses Brown at 7'1", underclassman, and a guy who could finish. I watched him several times this year, and my whole thought was, how is anybody going to stop him when he's locked in? And he's been locked in all season long. A terrific big man in this league. As good of a big man as you'll find at the high school level, as polished a big man. And he really, the one thing he does more than any big man I've ever seen is he takes away the transition game. He's so good at defending rebounders. Nobody gets outlets on him. And for Stepniac, Alan Griffin has been a guy who's, I didn't think he was going to play again. In the final week of the season, he tears his meniscus, and they said, hey, listen, if you can stand the pain, you can play. And he's not only played, he's thrived. We saw what he did in the Archdiocese final against Mount St. Michael, scoring 39 points, almost knocking off Mount in that game. And we've seen Alan Griffin rise to a different level as this postseason has gone on.
The winner gets to play Cardinal Hayes Sunday in Rose Hill, but we're 4 quarters away from finding out who they'll play. It's all coming up next on News 12 Varsity's Game Time. We're 32 minutes away from finding out who will face Cardinal Hayes in the final Sunday afternoon. There's the Archbishop Stepniac Crusaders, and they'll roll out a starting lineup of Jordan Means and Makai Johnson in the backcourt with RJ Davis, and the forwards Alan Griffin and Xavier Wilson. For Molloy, they haven't really changed their starting lineup at all this season. We mentioned Moses Brown in the beginning. Khalid Moore and John Herring are the 2 other forwards, with Jackson Bertucci and Cole Anthony. And there's the head coach, Pat Massaroni. Kevin, if I were to tell you last year,
no,
your team's going to finish under 500, lose your 2 best players, no way you would think they get to this point.
I've been practicing all day for this part of the conversation. I would have said no chance. You lose Jordan Tucker, you lose Andre Hyatt, and you're now a win away from playing for the championship. You have a violation against Xavier Wilson on the jump ball, and I think Xavier Wilson knew that it was a no-win situation on that one. But Pat Massaroni coming in as his 2nd-year head coach, and obviously some growing pains last year as a head coach. I've seen a different temperament out of him on the sideline. I've seen him interact with the players differently, and we're seeing him now take this program to the semifinals with a potential date against a former head coach who's on the staff of Cardinal Hayes and Tim Phillip, leading Cardinal Hayes past Bishop Laughlin in the other semifinal earlier tonight.
And the head coach, of course, for Molloy, Mike McCleary, in his 4th season, and John Herring gets the Standers on the board.
There's some possessions for Archbishop Molloy that looks so easy, and you say, why don't they just do that every time? And John Herring going baseline, finishing above the rim.
Our officials today, Mike Nardone, Dave Graham, and Ray Downs. The pull-up jumper from Davis hits off the front rim, and Herring taps the rebound to Moore.
For my family watching at home, Ray Downs, yes, it is that Ray Downs, the one I grew up with in Eastchester, New York. Played Little League together.
As Moore gets fouled. And that'll be the first on Jordan Means. Who was the better Little Leaguer?
That's not even a question. Ray was. He hit absolute missiles. And he could pitch. And he could throw, and he could catch. He could do all the things I really couldn't do.
They try to throw it inside to Brown, and it gets taken away. R.J. Davis to the cup and a goaltend against John Herring. And John Herring is contributed to all the points scored here so far. A 2-2 game early on.
Like seeing the aggressiveness out of R.J. Davis to start here.
You know, last year, Cole Anthony took the season by storm as he can't stick the three, and the ball will trickle out of bounds. It'll be Stepniac ball. But in Westchester, they're looking at R.J. Davis the way that people in Brooklyn, Queens are looking at Cole Anthony.
Yeah, they are. And just a freshman coming in here. And it's funny, the league is so spoiled, the Catholic League, with freshmen who come in and make an impact. And we've seen a lot of guys come in and do somewhat what R.J. Davis has done. But for him to do it out of Westchester County, an Elmsford kid, pretty special. And off the glass, a senior, Jordan Means, with the basket.
The senior from Manhattan averages 13.6 points a game. And he gives the Crusaders a 2-point lead. Stepniac 18-10, second place in the New York AA division. Crusaders used a 17-0 run to polish off Christ the King 78-67 to set up a date with Molloy, who brushed aside All Hallows Sunday afternoon as Khalid Moore takes a spill.
And Jordan Means is upset. They were fighting for the loose ball, and he gets called for the whistle. Second foul on Means, and that's why his reaction was what it was, and that's disappointing in it. 2 minutes into a semifinal game to have that. And he's got to watch himself here, and no, he's got to watch for the bench as Peyton Hudson returns or comes into the game, the talented three-point shooter.
A 6-foot junior out of Yonkers. You mentioned him shooting from downtown, 42% from distance. Here's a guy that doesn't mind letting it fly. Neither does Vertucci. Can't sink the three. Griffin with the rebound. Wilson gets his pocket picked. Now Cole Anthony taking on three defenders. Offensive foul. A nice job by Alan Griffin, the transfer from Ossining, to set his feet and give Anthony his first foul.
Griffin's going to play the 2 and sometimes play the 1 on offense, and then on defense he's going to be playing inside the 4 or the 5 position, depending if Xavier Wilson's in the game. So really one of the more versatile players in the league. And, you know, he had a very good year last year in Section 1 at Ossining High School in his first year at Ossining. But he has really taken his game to a different level this season.
Second team All-League, offers from Iona, Manhattan, LaSalle, Massachusetts, and has interest from Fordham and Delaware. There you see the size of Brown, but they're not able to corral it. Griffin a 3. Off the back iron, long rebound, tap back, right into the hands of Hudson.
Opportunistic Stepniac defense here, yeah, taking advantage of just the ball going around and just out-hustling Molloy here in the early minutes.
Makai Johnson. Davis from Greenberg, and that's where he was born, and that's where he shot it from. The rainbow triple gives Stepniac a 7-2 lead.
Had to shoot over Mount Carmel, which is in northern parts of the Hudson Valley, because Moses Brown was coming out with his 7'1" frame and his arm extended.
Anthony gets walled off. The skip pass for Tucci. Towards John Herring. Good defense out of Griffin.